Well, it wasn't pretty, but you know what they say. Sometimes you got to slay a few dragons before you can rescue the princess. Let's talk Lions football.
Elbow, forearm, he's going to be down.
The result of the play is a touchdown.
And then the flag that was thrown on this was picked up.
I don't know, did it get the face mask?
Only do that if you're telling the official you're reporting.
The Lions hangover.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Lions Hangover Podcast, Postgame edition. I am your host, Brad. Don't forget to please rate and subscribe. Follow along wherever you are watching or listening to this. Well, you're watching it on YouTube, but wherever you're listening to this, please follow along and subscribe, rate it, leave a review. The good ones are appreciated. Don't forget you can find me on all social medias, X, Instagram, and Facebook. I feel a bit rushed, just the adrenaline going right now from a Lions victory. They narrowly defeat the New York Giants by a score of 34-27. I had to look to make sure that I got that right because it was just so horrendous today. It was ugly. That was one of the ugliest games I've ever seen. It reminded me of the Houston game. Was that last year when Goff threw 5 interceptions? Like the Lions did very little to win, but yet somehow they came out on top. Coyote Awashika. I don't know how to put this. You're garbage. Really angry at Brad Holmes right now for not trading for Kevin Zeitler. I'm sure he does not want to be in Tennessee. I can't believe the one left guard makes all the difference in the world. I cannot wait for Christian Mahogany to come back. St. Brown had, I would say, 2 key drops. We're going to call the second one a drop that led to the interception. I don't know if it technically classifies as a drop, but his deflection led to the interception. Lions, of course, didn't need that. I don't blame Jared Goff for that. However, I need Jared Goff to start playing like the all-pro that everybody says he is. I need better from Jared Goff. It's not all the offensive line. I need him to start making plays, but at the end of the game, he started making plays and things got good, okay? But the hero of the day is no doubt Jahmyr Gibbs. We had an interception on defense today, too. I feel like that was our first turnover in weeks. I don't know if that's true, but holy cow, it felt like it. Jahmyr Gibbs was the man today. But once again, the offense felt unbalanced. It felt like they were purposefully trying to get St. Brown the ball. St. Brown had a better day today, but still not great. I already mentioned the one drop and the deflection for the interception. J-Mo was absent. Tesla was absent. Brock Wright, I know he had a catch, but for the most part, he was absent. Montgomery had little impact. I don't even know if I've already mentioned Montgomery. Jahmyr Gibbs ran this offense. He was the man. There were screen pass. He must have had like 82 catches today. That, of course, is an exaggeration. But his running, we knew we could run on the Giants. I don't feel like we ran enough, but we did have a couple big plays, and they came at key moments. All of them, Jahmyr Gibbs. Lions offense, though, they have to get it together. So inconsistent. So through the entire season, I don't care who's calling plays. They look the best when they're balanced. And they didn't look balanced today. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. The defense is atrocious. However, there were still some bright spots. Like I said, we had the interception. I'll have to look and see who that was from. Hutchinson with the game-winning sack in overtime. That was freaking amazing. I thought our run defense was pretty good. Pretty good today. I'm not going to harp on the run defense, but you cannot have Jameis Winston look like an MVP caliber quarterback. That was garbage. I haven't seen stupid luck like that since Aaron Rodgers played for the Packers and he would just throw Hail Marys and it was like, what the hell? These guys just keep catching the ball. It was ridiculous. We cannot have that. And if we don't tighten that up super fast, we are going to get destroyed against the Packers on Thanksgiving in just 4 days from now. I have the Eagles and the Cowboys game going right now. Eagles currently have a 7-0 lead early in the first quarter. That doesn't matter, though. I don't give two craps about the Eagles or the Cowboys. Somehow I'm rooting for the Cowboys, though. We're going to get into the game story coming up. I wasn't even going to do highlights today. Honestly, I was debating even doing an episode. I was like, this isn't worth it. This is stupid. Why am I going to vent about my frustrations for a half hour? But then again, I would probably feel better afterward. But this is ridiculous. It went from a horrible, horrible game to one of the most exciting games ever just because it was a come-from-behind victory. I feel like we did very little to deserve this victory, and it's thank God we got it, man. Hopefully this is the wake-up call. We started to play with some enthusiasm at the end of the game. It was like we finally woke up. But, man, Jameis Winston, he had a great first half. I don't want to say a great game. I think he missed like his next 20 passes or something like that. After complete, he was like 8 for 10 to start with. I don't know what the exact stat was, but he had a high completion percentage. And then by the end of the game, I think he was like 16 of 40 or something like that. So we'll get into the stats a little bit. I'm just trying to catch my breath here. What an end of the game, man. What an end of the game. I'm just going through everybody's performance. I have the biggest problem with our secondary, which I know is banged up, but DJ Reed is back. You know, Brian Branch, who's supposed to be a fantastic safety, who I love. He's like one of my favorite players, honestly. You can tell he's suffering without Kirby Joseph back there. I hope Kirby Joseph is back against the Packers. We need him back so fast. I was looking into Christian Mahogany because it's like, why is Awashikwa playing? He's just garbage. I can't sugarcoat this anymore. I don't want to say the offensive line is struggling. Coyote Awashika is struggling. He is horrible. I'm ready for somebody else. Why is Dan Skipper not in there at left guard? I don't care if he is 6'8" and he blocks the view of Jared Goff. Awashika is garbage, and I feel like I keep messing up his name. He sucks. He sucks. I could do better, and I'm fat and out of shape. He's just fat and horrible. I don't want to vent on that too much. I'm trying not to touch my phone. I really did little research on this. I was like, man, I just don't want to do this, but I'm excited now because the Lions ended up winning. They are, of course, 7-4 now. Winning the game in overtime. It was a fantastic victory. It was an ugly game. If that even makes sense. I was like, I'm not even going to do highlights, but I'll do a few highlights now. So I'll have to get them to myself. Holy cow, man. You guys, are you still feeling it? I'm still feeling it. Let's go over the story of the game. The Giants come out and play lucky football. They get a touchdown on their very first drive. It was only 4 plays, 70 yards, 2 minutes, 4 seconds. Then the Lions punt after an 8-play drive. They only move the ball 17 yards. They take 5 minutes off the clock. Then it's like, okay, well, maybe the Giants will settle down because they punt the ball away after they go 3 and out on their second drive. Lions punt on their second drive. Giants get a field goal. That closes out the plays in the first quarter. The second quarter, Lions finally get on the board with a touchdown from Jared Goff to St. Brown.
Now Goff on 3rd and goal. Gets it into the hands of St. Brown, and he forces his way into the end zone for a Lions touchdown.
It's Amon-Ra's coming across in motion. As he does that, you see all the blockers getting ready. They have the angles. They go to Brian Burns' side. He actually played that pretty well.
Now, Jameis Winston, throws another 12-yard touchdown pass to Hodgins. This makes the score 17-7. That was a 6-play, 69-yard drive, taking 3 minutes, 20 seconds off of the clock. Now, again, Lions go back to punting, and then the Giants punt, and then the Lions get another touchdown. This time it was a 3-yard touchdown pass to Jahmyr Gibbs. This makes the score 17-14. Lions are within just a field goal, but however, after 6 plays and 56 yards, taking a minute 38 off of the clock, there was a 44-yard field goal by Koo, the kicker Koo. I can't think of his first name. Is it Jan? Jan Koo? Lions, however, they, on their next drive, go 5 plays for 38 yards, taking 38 seconds off the clock with a 37-yard field goal from Mr. Jake Bates. Now the Lions get the ball to start the second half of the game, and they punt away after 6 plays, 33 yards. I have a problem with this because the Lions went for it on no 4th downs today that I know of. We will, again, look at the team stats in a little bit, but it's like there were no 4th down attempts. A lot of times I feel like they could have went for field goals. A lot of times that they were punting here, it didn't make sense to me because they would have been long field goals, don't get me wrong. They would have been like 62 yards or 64 yards. We know this is within Jake Bates' range, so why are we not going for field goals? At least once or twice. These are points that we could have used, honestly. What was that? Okay, apparently my heart rate is high, guys. On the next drive, okay, I'm not sure if I said this, 9 plays, 47 yards, 3 minutes, 32 seconds off the clock. The New York Giants punt. Then the Lions get the ball, 10 plays, 70 yards, 4 minutes, 58 seconds off the clock. Amon-Ra St. Brown tips the ball and goes right into the hands of a New York Giant defender. We will get his name in a little bit, which was bullshit. Next, start of the 4th quarter, touchdown, New York Giants, 9 plays, 85 yards. They take 5 minutes, 3 seconds off the clock. This time it was a 33-yard touchdown pass from Ozlewski to Jameis Winston. What's up with Derek Barnes? He can't tackle Jameis Winston. He wasn't even moving that fast. It's like he just his arms. There was like cinder blocks on his arms or something. It's like he just couldn't wrap his arms around Jameis Winston. It was very odd, very frustrating. Next, the Lions get the ball, though, and 3 plays, 81 yards later, there's a 49-yard touchdown run by the hero of the day, Mr. Jahmyr Gibbs.
Leads have been well documented. There's Gibbs. Belton couldn't bring him down. Holland chasing after him. And Jahmyr Gibbs is into the end zone for a Lions touchdown, 49 yards.
And you're going to watch the individual effort from Jahmyr Gibbs. You see how they get to the second level. Now it's on him. Break 1 tackle, Dane Belton. Second tackle, Cordell Flott. Javon Holland can't get there, and he's off to the races for another touchdown for the Detroit Lions.
Now on the Giants' next drive, this is what the Lions needed. An interception from Jameis Winston. The ball was intercepted by Harper on the New York Giants' 45-yard line. However, the Lions could do nothing with it. 3 plays, 1 yard. So that means the ball was on the 44-yard line, and they punted the ball away. So add 8 yards to that. That would have been 52 plus 10 yards of 62-yard field goal. We know Jake Bates can make this. He made a 63-yard field goal when he played for the Michigan Panthers. Why are we not giving him a shot? We know he has the leg. Give him a shot to kick some field goals, man. Instead, Lions punt after a 3-and-out, only taking 57 seconds off the clock. Next, the Giants go 14 plays, 86 yards, 6 minutes, 54 seconds off the clock, and they turn the ball over on downs. Lions get the ball back. They go 13 plays, 53 yards, taking 2 minutes, 26 seconds off the clock. This ends with a field goal for Mr. Jake Bates. And oh my God, I thought this thing was going wide, and it did not. Instead, it was banking right, and then it was like, nah, I'm going to go straight. So, way to go. Okay, this ties the game at 27. Then 1 play into overtime, 69 yards, Mr. Jahmyr Gibbs for the game-winning touchdown.
There's Gibbs on first down. Jahmyr Gibbs across midfield. 1 man to beat. Inside the 20, the 10, Touchdown on the first play from scrimmage in overtime.
You just watch how they're hooking the defensive line. They stunt one way, they get out there, get out leverage. Nobody touches Jahmyr Gibbs. That is inexcusable Giants defense. Nobody touches the best running back in the league right now.
The Giants get the ball. They have a chance to answer in overtime, which I hate. I feel like a touchdown should end the game. This is the way it goes. You're telling me that the defense doesn't matter for the first team on the field, which I think is stupid. But I know I'm not going to get anything changed there, and I think I'm in the minority on that. However, 12 plays, 39 yards, 5 minutes, 23 seconds off the clock, and the game ends here with a Aiden Hutchinson sack.
Winston looking on fourth down. He's wrapped up, and down he goes.
Just watch the relentless effort of Aiden Hutchinson. He keeps going, circles back. Jameis Winston tries to get out of the pocket. Nobody to throw to. And Aiden Hutchinson, the captain that he is, puts an exclamation point on the game.
I feel like this ends a couple. No, it probably doesn't. I was going to say it probably ends a couple game sack drought by Aiden Hutchinson, but I don't think that's accurate at all. I feel like he had like a half sack last week, didn't he? With Lopez, is that his name? I believe so. Okay, so let's check out the game stats here. Starting with the bad guys. Mr. Jameis Winston went 18 of 36 for 366 yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception, and he was sacked that one time for a loss of 4 yards. He finished with a rating of 93.1. Gunnar Ozlowski went 1 for 1 with that 33-yard touchdown pass to Jameis Winston. He finished with a quarterback rating of 158.3. How fantastic. Tyrone Tracy led the team in rushing. He had 20 carries for 62 yards. Devin Singletary ran the ball 14 times for 47 yards. Jameis Winston ran the ball 4 times for 13 yards. Now, Wan'Dale Robinson led the team in receptions. He had 9 catches for 156 yards with 1 touchdown, longest being 40 yards. Theo Johnson, 3 catches, 77 yards. Tyrone Tracy Jr., 3 catches, 68 yards. Now, Isaiah Hodgkins had 2 catches with a touchdown, and Jameis Winston had 1 catch with a touchdown as well. Now, Wan'Dale Robinson did have a fumble, but the Giants recovered. It went out of bounds. I remember that. It went out of bounds. I wasn't convinced he had possession of the ball on the reception, but doesn't matter what I think. It's what they ruled in the game. Okay, top 5 tacklers on the board for the Giants. Dane Belton, 9 total tackles, 4 solo. Bobby Okereke, I'm sure I'm messing that up. 8 tackles, 6 solo. Corey Black, 6 tackles, 4 solo. Zaire Barnes, 5 tackles, 3 solo. And Drew Phillips, that's D-R-U Phillips, 5 tackles, 3 solo. Also, Darius Alexander had 2 sacks, and Raheem Nunez Roches had a sack as well. Now, they did punt the ball 3 times for 120 yards. Young Ho Koo, that's what it is. Young Ho Koo was 2 for 2 on field goals. His longest was 44 yards, and he was 3 for 3 on extra points. Now, let's get to the heroes of the day. Jared Goff went 28 of 42 for 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a quarterback rating of 91.3. Jahmyr Gibbs led the team. Holy cow, I had no idea it was this much. Led the team with 15 carries. That's not the part that's blowing me away. The part that's blowing me away is he had 219 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns, his longest being 69 yards at the end of the game. Montgomery only had 5 carries for 18 yards. Again, imbalanced. I'm not going to care today, though, because it's just freaking amazing that Jahmyr Gibbs had 219 rushing yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown led the team with 149 yards receiving. He did, however, have 9 catches. I want to say that led the team, but it didn't, and we'll get to that in a second. So St. Brown had 149 yards, 1 touchdown, his longest being 30 yards. This was on 13 targets, 9 for 13. Jahmyr Gibbs caught the ball 11 times, so he had 26 total catches today. He only had 45 yards. He did have 1 receiving touchdown as well. That makes it 3 total touchdowns on the day. That is on 12 targets, so he was 11 for 12. Khalif Raymond had 2 catches. Brock Wright had 3 catches. Montgomery had 3 catches, all for insignificant yards. The next leading receiver was Khalif Raymond with 37 yards on 2 catches. Again, Tesla was targeted, didn't get a catch. JMO was targeted 3 times, didn't get a catch. There's just a lot of an unbalanced offense right now, and I don't want to blame the offensive line, and I don't want to blame Dan Campbell. I do want to blame number 16, Jared Goff. You got to balance that stuff out a little bit more. You can blame Dan Campbell for the Montgomery Gibbs imbalance as far as rushing the ball goes. Next, 5 tacklers on the board for the Lions. Jack Campbell led the team pretty much as always for 11 total tackles, 5 solo. Amik Robertson, 7 total tackles and 7 solo. All of his, that makes sense because he's a defensive back. Brian Branch, 7 tackles, 3 solo. Thomas Harper, the man of the game with the interception, he had 6 tackles, 5 solo. Hutchinson, 6 tackles, 4 solo, and a sack. That was freaking amazing. And that was it. That was the only sack of the game. So the defensive front needs to play better as well. I know their run defense, I was happy with their run defense. I thought they were pretty, especially when they needed to stop the Giants on the ground. They did. Jake Bates went 2 for 2 with a 59-yard long field goal and 4 for 4 on extra points. Jack Fox punted the ball 5 times for 200 yards. He was inside the 20 4 times. Now let's get to the team stats. The Giants had 25 first downs. Lions had 23 first downs. The Giants were 8 for 16 on third down. The Lions were 5 for 12 on third down. On fourth down, the Giants went 1 for 3 on fourth down. The Lions went 0 for 0. Did not go for it on fourth down once today. And again, you were in enemy territory some of those times. It's completely okay. It's like Dan Campbell went the exact opposite way he was supposed to go this time. Instead of being a little bit more conservative, he went a lot more conservative. And it just, you need to find that balance within yourself, man. I don't want to get all deep on you, but Jesus, like, go for it a little bit on fourth down. We want you to, especially when you're in enemy territory. Every single time they punted, I feel like we were on their side of the 50. Like, it just didn't make sense to me. You didn't go for it once. You didn't kick a single field goal in that circumstance. Just don't get it, man. Just don't get it. Lions did have 494 yards of total offense, and the Giants had 517. Now, the Giants were 1 for 3 in the red zone. The Lions were 2 for 4. Giants were penalized 7 times for 59 yards, and the Lions were penalized 9 times for 81 yards. Each team had an interception. The Giants, however, did have the ball for 37 minutes, 11 seconds. I did say Giants, right? The Lions only had the ball 28 minutes, 30 seconds. 64,238 people were in Ford Field today. Now, that pretty much wraps up my show. I know I zipped through that, but I feel like I touched on all of the bases. Offensive line has to play better, specifically Awashika. Okay, I cannot stress that enough. He is garbage. Holy cow. Dude, seriously, every time Goff faced any pressure, it was always coming from the left side, specifically Awashika. Like, you got to figure that out, man. I don't remember him playing this poorly last year. It's not for him. You got to get somebody else ASAP. Jared Goff is going to get killed, okay? Put Dan Skipper back in there. I don't understand why Dan Skipper's not in there every single play. Awashika should be the backup to Skipper. Play Skipper. Skipper is better. I know he's a huge dude. It is an awkward size to be playing an offensive lineman when Goff has had issues with batted down balls so far this year. But I'm telling you, life will be better if you put Dan Skipper in. I'm tired of seeing Awashika. Garbage. I can't stress that enough. And then the defensive secondary, Kirby Joseph has to come back, man. He has to come back. Terrion Arnold, I hope he's back out of concussion protocol. It would be sweet. We just got DJ Reed back. I know Rodrigo is back, okay? But we need help for Brian Branch. We need help for Amik Robertson, who I thought did, gas indigestion. I thought Amik Robertson did okay. He had that amazing defensive play at the end of the game where they were getting burned all day. And then finally he came up huge. So that has to continue. We'll see how things go. It's only 4 days off now. Look for my pregame show tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday. I believe I'm going to try and do it tomorrow. If it doesn't come out Tuesday at the latest, I want to give everybody enough time to listen to it. I hope you guys enjoyed the last pregame show when ChatGPT was my special guest. I thought it went okay. The only difference is usually I do research by asking ChatGPT specific questions, and then I just read the answers. This time it was more like a conversation, so I just thought I would give that a try. I might do it again. I might not. And of course, just, stay tuned for a post-game show after Thanksgiving as well. So I'm looking forward to that Jack White performance. We can talk about that more tomorrow, though. Or Tuesday. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Please rate and subscribe, and I will be back soon.